it's not a given. It's not always right to impose life. People can get a habit of asking serious questions about our origins. Questions most people don't ask because they're given some pat answer, like it's the way things are. Even if they're not religious answers, they're still self-justifying, circular reasoning kind of completions made out of just this, well, everybody else is doing it, this is what we do, this is what being human is, and we mimic each other, we mimic those popular norms and fall into those same patterns. You could say it about almost everything that's appreciated by people. It all seems kind of arbitrary. It's not so much about what game they're playing, it's just a game. It happens to be the game they've grown up in. So whether it's cricket or soccer or football or baseball, none of them have anything of merit about them individually. It's just what you get caught up in. It's just what kind of food is to your taste, what acquired taste you acquire, what taste you acquire. The idea is that philosophy should rise above all of this crap and be able to just say, we understand it's just a game and it's an arbitrary choice. We understand it's just a soap opera, it's just a story, a movie or something else, and it's just kind of erroneous. The reasons why one appeals to one person and one appeals to another has to do with what their personal taste is and doesn't have much to do with any real merit. Where I wanted to bend the conversation was also to the point that Darwin's only been around, this whole idea of evolution, which kind of opened the door pretty wide. Now we have an explanation that kind of leaves God out of the game. Where before there was always this mystery, this thing you had to explain. And even though Darwin didn't trace it back to a single cell, we can do that now. Indirectly demonstrate pretty conclusively what the story is here. There's no rational room for a God as an explanation. And all the God stories, none of that stuff makes any sense. It doesn't explain the genetics or the reality we live with or dinosaur fossils or any of it. So it's just stupid to waste time trying to make those stories make any sense. Antinatalism is just taking the idea that there's no God, and when you take that idea seriously, you're kind of required now, if you don't just get caught up in some kind of social norms or some kind of social programming, you're kind of obligated now to start asking questions and start answering those questions about what we're doing here, what our origins are, what the whole game really is. And if you describe it accurately in the way it really is, it's not a good story. It's a replicating molecule. It's basically competing with itself to accomplish nothing. Just to keep rewarding one thing for being a little bit better than the other thing, and doing it in some sort of Thunderdome kind of atmosphere, some sort of winner-take-all, brutal, harsh contest. To do nothing more than put a hide on a deer so they can sleep in the rain. To do nothing but to put big giant teeth on a shark so it can more efficiently rip apart its dinner. Put a big nose on something else so it can smell out and seek out something hiding from it. And we're a product of that. And our tools became the tools of war. That's how we gained our success. Not because we're individually magnificent, but because we could organize and work together and become a mob that could destroy anything in its path, anything in its way. So it's not a good story. Our origins aren't a good story. What life is doing in the real world, the natural world, isn't a good story. What human civilization has managed to do, which is have a lot of stupid wars, waste a lot of time playing ego games. I'm better than you because I have a Maserati and a mansion and marble floors, got pyramids and cathedrals and all kinds of monuments to just waste. It's pitiful. Even the best part of our civilization is silly and stupid. Yeah, so it's all pretty depressing, pretty lousy, pretty rotten. And there's no happily ever after to this molecule's progress. It's just going to keep providing instruments of war. And so physically we're sort of out of the game now because there's no more natural selection for us genetically. The only thing evolving is our intelligence. And there's only two parts to that are evolving. One is the technology, which seems completely owned by capitalism. So it ends up being just an instrument of the industrial complexes, whether they be control of the mass media or silly entertainments, halftime shows, or a military-industrial complex so we can do some more of that DNA molecule, destroying DNA molecule bullshit, hiding for nothing, because that's what we're made to do, unfortunately.